Hello there, yes. Might have a day when I'm not cycling through puddles today. That would be nice. Just want to highlight a couple of articles of the usual kind of culture war. I don't know what, messiness? That's not the right word, is it? Vitriol. That's the word. Yeah, in the Daily Telegraph, Craig Simpson, who's there, appears to be their disliking gay people writer. A couple of days ago, he had this piece, which is Gender Critical Books Hidden by Tin Pot Censor Librarians. Yes, Tin Pot Censors. Because Calderdale Libraries up in Yorkshire has decided to remove certain gender critical titles, not from the libraries, but from the shelves. And of course, people are jumping up and down about this because it's censorship. How dare they? It's cancel culture. How dare they? I'll come back to that one. Anyway, he followed it up yesterday with librarians told to hide books by gender critical authors. New guidance from councils aims to make libraries friendlier to LGBT visitors. Yes, indeed. And he's managed to use the power of the internet to find guidance which may or may not be taken up by libraries from a whole big 3 years ago. Anyway, you can actually look at this guidance yourself and decide how disgusting and awful it is. In his more recent piece, Craig has managed to get hold of Toby Young, everyone's favourite transphobe after all. That's what free speech is about, isn't it? The ability to have a go at trans people and gay people as well, hopefully. Anyway, he's of course jumping up and down about this because it's a huge free speech issue, isn't it? I mean, things like books. Yes, of course it is. Now, again, as I say, I mean, you can sort of cherry pick what you want, and the Daily Telegraph article undoubtedly does. For example, going on about gender neutral toilets. But as the actual guidance does state, and again, you can look at this yourself, sometimes libraries are the only places locally where you can use a toilet freely, and they need to be accessible to people, generally, okay? Without people feeling intimidated in them for blindingly obvious reasons. And, you know, as I say, do have a look at the guide because I think it's one of the most reasonable documents I've ever read, ever. But the problem I have with this, of course, is that these people that scream blue murder that certain books must be on display will also scream blue murder that certain flags mustn't be on display. What I'd like them to do is scream blue murder that copies of Mein Kampf must be positioned very, very prominently in libraries in Finchley. After all, it's a free speech issue. Why are they censoring that in Finsbury libraries? Isn't it disgusting? Well, no, it isn't, is it? That would be considered grossly anti-Semitic and just very, very nasty. Vitriolic, one might say. But the Daily Telegraph can do it to people that we all don't like. Which is the issue, isn't it, eh? Yeah? Yes. Must kick downwards to a bunch of people with no power whatsoever. Anyway, yeah, as I say, do have a look at the guidance. I think it's very, very reasonable. I think people should take it on board. If you don't want libraries to be safe spaces for everybody with books available when you want them on demand, which is fair enough, that's not cancelling, is it, at all? It's perfectly reasonable. I used to work in a library when I was about 18, and I remember we had copies of The Joy of Sex. They weren't on open display. You could ask for them, for obvious reasons. Think of the children. Anyway, do have a lovely dry day.